There's different opportunities, different areas and places to invest for either long-term investments, short-term investments, because not everybody's out for the short-term gain. Not everybody's out to do the flip. Some people are in here to grab the long-term, 5-year, 10-year, even 15-year to see huge equities in their properties that they're buying. There's different neighborhoods. And specifically right now, I want to talk about a neighborhood called Playacar. Playacar, there's phase 1 and there's phase 2. Playacar phase 1 has been around for decades. This is the place where back in the day, you would have the the only multi-million dollar homes on the beach in Playa del Carmen. Playacar phase 1 still exists. It's still a luxury, private neighborhood where you have most of your beach villas are gonna be in Playacar phase 1. Years passed and a second phase started. It's called Playacar phase 2. Within Playacar phase 2, you have a golf course community. Right now, the Hard Rock owns that golf course, and you have amazing rounds of golf, you have amazing setup, you have lakes, you have iguanas. It's super cool. It's an amazing neighborhood, an amazing area. That's where I personally live. So talking about Playacar phase 2, some of the things that we've noticed in Playacar, that things are increasing in value. Why? Because it's a gated community, and it's a great community for families. So you have a price range in Playacar phase 2 from $150,000 for condos all the way up to $1 million in houses. Within Playacar phase 2, you have different subdivisions inside Playacar phase 2. And within those subdivisions, you've got construction or developments that have different type of living, whether it be condo living, condo hotel living, or you have homes that are part of a community that share 2 community pools, you've got a gym, stuff like that. The reason why these houses are gonna be built in Playacar phase 2 is because of a market analysis that was done by a company called 4S. I wanna personally thank right now Cesar. He is one of the founders and owners of a development company that built Macondo in Tulum, Macondo in Playa. He's a great guy. He shared this very valuable information with me, and I want to give him credit for doing that. What I noticed when I was reading this analysis, this market analysis, by the way, it's about 263 pages of information and data about what is good about Playa del Carmen, what is good about Playacar, and specifically in the area and the range and what he wants to build. So what he noticed, or what we noticed after reading this market analysis, is people are shifting from wanting to buy 100% for a ROI when you're buying in Playacar phase 1 or phase 2. What they're looking for now is the number one thing people are looking for is safety, security, which is what Playacar gives you. And right there, almost at par with security, is gonna be the size of your kitchen, your living spaces. People don't want to have the small little square rooms and have 6 bedrooms on 200 square meters. People are wanting to get 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, big homes, 4,000, 500 square foot houses, and they're willing to pay a premium. Most of these families that are wanting to buy into this concept, they're wanting to have more space. They want a bigger kitchen. They want to be able to entertain guests. They want a backyard. And they're moving away from getting these small, high return on your investment condominiums or getting a 3-bedroom condo, and they want to get into homes. So we're talking about Playacar phase 1, Playacar phase 2. You want to know how much does it cost to live in Playacar, right? Or Playacar phase 1 or phase 2. Well, based on the market analysis and studies, you have prices here in pesos. I'm going to explain these to you in exchange rates. So in premium plus, which is A plus, the darker green, there isn't any on this map that I'm showing you right now that's in Playa del Carmen. This is properties that are above $1 million or has to have enough of an impact of a bunch of them, and there aren't very many. But you have 2.8% of the properties in Playa del Carmen do fit in the premium section, which is 6 million to 18 million pesos. That translates to about $400,000 up to $999,000, right? You have about almost 3% of the properties in Playa del Carmen. Now on this map, it shows you where you can find those properties are gonna cost you up to $1 million. Now, if you look at Residential Plus, which is the blue section here, that's 4 million pesos to 6 million pesos. You're talking about 250,000 up to 350,000, give or take a few. It depends on the exchange rate. If we go back to where the exchange rate was before, let's say 4 months ago, this is simple math. So 4 million pesos would be $200,000, 6 million pesos would be $300,000, right? So $200,000 to $300,000 is the blue area. So you're still in Playacar phase 2, and you have a big section of that mid-range Residential Plus area. You're still in the golf course community. But let's say you want to invest in Playa. You want to know, Alberto, where are the residential areas that are for standard residential areas or less expensive residential areas without losing quality, but I want to invest and I want to rent it to either families or homes or long-term rentals, maybe even do an Airbnb on a house, where you're going to get into the C plus residential. This you're talking about $120,000 up to let's say $220,000 based on the exchange rate. So we'll do it simple math. Let's say it's back at 20 right now. So between $100,000 and $200,000, it's a C plus, which is this tannish orange place, and there's a lot. Like, as you can tell, there's a lot of areas you can invest in Playa del Carmen that fall within that range. Now, if you want to go to mid-class, middle of the road, still has a good return on your investment, still good price point. You can actually do great stuff with Airbnbs and whatnots. You're going to go with the medio, which is basically the medium area. You're talking about 1 million pesos or 2 million pesos. This is about 60,000 up to $110,000. And that's where your C is at. And that's the red area here in Playa del Carmen. This is all over the place, right? So if I'm showing you this map, this is Playa del Carmen, Playacar Phase 1, Phase 2, all the way up to about 44th, okay? Right up here, you're gonna have Playa Esmeralda, you're gonna have a blue flag beaches up there, yet really cool, nice beaches, and an area is called Colosio, okay? In Colosio right now, if you look at Playa del Carmen, you have different sections, right? You have Playacar, you've got Centro, you got Colosio, and you have Ejido, right? Ejido is where your mall is at, your movie theater's at, stuff like that. And you have a road that's separating each one of these. I guess the easiest way to explain the way Playa del Carmen is laid out is if you're going parallel with the ocean, all your roads are by 5, right? So you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Each block is by 5 that goes parallel with the ocean. If you're going perpendicular with the ocean, they're going to be by 2s. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and so forth and so on, all the way up to, I think it's like 120 or something like that. So you have main avenues that separate different sections in Playa del Carmen. You have Juarez. After Juarez, you go to Constituyentes, which is another main road, okay? The ferry that takes you to Cozumel, there's 2. There's one for the ships, for the cruise ships, that basically takes you from Cozumel and drops you off at the ferry, at the pier that's at the end of Constituyentes. The other ferry takes you from Cozumel, takes you down there where Juarez is at, okay? So you have Juarez, you have Constituyentes, and then you have next one is going to be called CTM, okay? And CTM is basically this road over here, okay? It's on this area here. So we're looking at medium. Your medium is going across several of these sections, right? So right here is the pier. Here's the other pier on Constituyentes, and over here is CTM. So when you look at the medium, the 1 million pesos or 2 million pesos, you're going across all 3 regions. So you've got great location to invest in, and you're not spending an arm and a leg to get involved with it. I'm not saying you're going to get yourself a mansion. I'm not saying you're going to get a 3-bedroom penthouse oceanfront. That's not what we're looking at right now. We're looking at 1 million pesos, 2 million pesos. Now we're going to look at economic. 500,000 to 1 million pesos. 500,000 is about 30 grand. 1 million pesos is about $65,000, $70,000. What are you getting? Well, that's only this section on the other side of the highway. By the way, this is the highway 307 that takes you to Tulum going south or going north to Cancun. All this area over here, okay? What is the economic area? You're talking about places like Real Ibiza. You're talking about places like Los Olivos. These are 1, 2, and 3-bedroom houses. They're townhomes. They're super economic, but they're new, and they're great rental properties for locals. So if you're an investor and you want to actually help or invest in sustainability or invest in options to give locals to live and have consistent return on your investment, instead of doing rental income based on vacationers, but doing rental income based on locals that live here, that's where you want to buy. You're going to buy 4 or 5 of these houses or these condos, and you rent it to the locals, and you get yourself good return on your investment, and you end up being a landlord, right? And these are all beautiful neighborhoods. Look them up. Look up Real Ibiza. Look up La Jolla. Look up Los Olivos. Look at these neighborhoods that I'm talking about. You'll notice that there's parks, there's pools, there's gyms. It's amazing. What I want you to notice is how everything's shifting from the small 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-bedroom, 1-bath studios, and people aren't looking for that anymore. There's been a shift in what the tendency of what people want to buy when they're coming to Mexico now. So one of those tendencies right now I want to show you based on this market analysis is you have 20% of the people are looking for 2 bedrooms. That's it. 30% are looking for 3 bedrooms, but more than half, or at exactly half, are looking for 4 bedrooms or higher when looking for a home to rent. Now, another really cool statistic here is people are willing to pay for parking now. It's been such a pain in the butt, excuse my language, it's been such a pain in Mexico when you're buying real estate, when you're buying a condo, is they don't come with parking. Why? Because it's a tourist area, right? And nobody really has cars. But if you want to own a car, if you want to have a car, if you want to have a property with a car, you have problems with parking because most developers are not giving you parking spaces. So what's crazy is people are willing to pay an additional $50 per month just to have their own parking spot. I mean, it's incredible. Also, it's not as important to people nowadays to rent out their property. What they're wanting to have is they want to have their home, their second vacation home. And other statistics that I want to show you is only 10% want to have 1.5 bathrooms, right? 60% want 3 bathrooms or more in their homes. Everything's changing a little bit. The shift in real estate in Mexico, specifically in Playa del Carmen, and talking about Playacar, people are wanting more space. People are willing to pay for more space. You know, it's not necessarily location, location, location anymore. People aren't saying, I want my oceanfront property. They're willing to give up that oceanfront property. They're willing to give up the ocean, being on the beach, and people that want to have just more space, more livable space. They want to have, you have half the people are saying they want a bigger bedroom, master bedrooms, they need to be bigger. And the other half is asking for a bigger living room and dining room area. You know, so it's not necessarily just being close to the beach that's important anymore, but now it's more important to have more space. People are looking for livable space. People are wanting to move to Mexico. People are wanting to come here and actually move to the Riviera Maya. Not just expats. We're not talking about just Canadians and Americans moving here. This is an analysis that was studied across the entire country of Mexico, South America, Americans and Canadians. And what are they looking for nowadays? And now they're not looking to have to be close to the beach. They're willing to sacrifice that to have a bigger bedroom, bigger living room, bigger dining room, and have a bit more space for their family and friends.